How's everybody doing in internet land? Today we're going to sorry, there's some goo on the lens there. We're going to change the oil on Old Faithful here. But first I need to get rid of this cardboard, and the dog wants to go for a little ride anyways, so let's fire up the old Yoda and go to the recycle center. Hey, you want to go for a ride in the pickup truck? Oh, yeah. Go ahead, on your pickup. Air conditioning. You got your seatbelt on? No? Stay here. No barking. Relax. Stay here and guard the Toyota. Shifter. Good then. Okay, so we're back home and the oil is extremely hot, which is what you want before you change it. So, I don't know, should we do this as a primer for people that have never changed oil before, Coke? What do you think? Goo in your eye? Alright, well, step one, always pop your hood. Oh! Woo! Hot in here, Caucus. Alright. Step two, remove this. Your oil will drain a hell of a lot faster. Alright, so now we gotta go get a drain pan and put some gloves on. You don't want to get oil on your hands if you can help it. There's all kind of caustic junk in it, so let's go get that. So the other thing that I forgot to mention if you're doing your own oil changes is you want to take a look at your book. And I used to write down everything in the book here, but now I have a spreadsheet that I put everything on Google Documents. So I'm going to put 1030 in it and 4.5 quarts, and I have to use a wrench, a 14 millimeter wrench, because the way the pan is. I'll show you that. So let's get that. I like to use either OEM filters. This is obviously for a Honda, or Wix. Wix makes a really good filter. They have a lot of material or medium inside the filter. And a lot of times you can cross-reference. So if you have a couple different vehicles, like this one, this 51348, I buy them by the case because this will also fit my tractor. So it works out good. And funny enough, for my Nissan, this one, this 57356, is also the same as a Honda. So you can mix and match, I guess. So we're going to use one of these. And yeah, I got some of this 1030. Alright, so let's get some gloves. I like using the Harbor Freight 9mm Hardy gloves. I used to buy the blue ones. I forget, maybe those were $5, and they just fall apart too easy. These, I mean, look, I'm stretching on pretty good, and they just don't fall apart. It's worth spending the extra couple of bucks to get the better glove, I feel like. And these just last, they'll last your whole job, where the blue ones would just fall apart real easy. So, okay, now we need to get, I think it was a 14. 14. Alright. Another thing you're going to want to do is get some old rags just in case. So I'm fortunate my wife works at a hospital and she's a nurse, so she's in an OR room all the time and she's able to get me rags when they don't need them all. Alright, got our old crusty piece of foam here. So your owner's manual will tell you where your drain plug is as well. So this one is right here. And you can see the front diff kind of gets in the way. So the good part about oil falling all over your diff is that it'll always be lubricated. Alright, lefty loosey, righty tighty. Should never put on a drain plug too much, because then you'll just strip stuff. This one's coming down nice, or coming out nice. And there you go, lubricates your differential. Burning your hand. Splashing me in my face. Oh, always windy here. Alright, so we're going to let this drain. We'll move around our drain pan accordingly, depending on how the wind blows it all around. I like to let the oil drain for at least 10 minutes. Overnight is even better, honestly, but you want to make sure that you write yourself a note or leave the hood open so you don't start it without oil in it. That'd be bad. So I'll let this drain, and then I'll wipe it off the diff, and we got to take the filter out, so let's take a look at that now. Oh man, this is why people pay to do this. The oil gets everywhere. Oh. But yeah, I mean, these gloves, they hold up good. Oil on the camera there. Alright, so the old drain plug. Get a magnet and go get that. Knocked it down there. Alright, hopefully I can grab it with this. Oh, like fishing. That could have been bad. Pro tip, don't lose your drain plug. Okay, the filter is... Can you see it down there? Yeah, there she be. So not super hard to get to. Another thing that is a good idea to do is to replace the washer. Toyotas use this like crush gasket, so this one's looking a little funky. Sometimes I get a few changes out of them before I replace them, but this one is starting to look a little funky, so if it's stuck, you usually can just get a little screwdriver under there and just pop it right off. So are these guys here. Channellock makes them. You can get bigger pairs. I have a bigger pair for right here for the bigger diesel stuff and tractors and stuff. But this pair works really nice and it's adjustable. I really recommend this. I can find a link in an Amazon link and throw it on there. You guys can check it out. But this, it could be more than 20 bucks, but these are really nice. Yeah, so here's those. So you can see I have a whole bag of them. I mean, that'll last you a lifetime. And they're all the same. You know, I buy all these Toyota filters, so they just, you know, give them to you, which is nice. You can buy just the washers online. I mean, they couldn't be more than a couple bucks shipped to your door. So we'll get one of these. You can see it fits nice on the shoulder and doesn't move. So you definitely want to have that. This oil's been draining for quite some time now, so let's get the plug back in before we forget that. That could be disastrous. So we're going to clean off stuff as best as we can with our handy dandy surgical rags. Thanks, wife. Such a great woman. So get up in there, get whatever you can. I mean, listen, if you're doing an oil change on a truck this old, you're not going to care too much about how clean underneath is. So, all right, I'm going to set this down so I can thread in the drain plug. Again, it should thread in really easy. Finger tight start. Just wipe off a few more things. And then I apologize about the crazy angles here. And then again, just using the box part of my wrench. And remember, the washer is going to crush, so that's what is doing your sealing. That's it, done. One other thing I want to mention too before we get this filter out. I know it's super convenient to just like lay your damn tools everywhere, but be careful you don't, you know, make contact with your battery, or else you'll get zapped or sparks go flying everywhere. So maybe cover that stuff up if you're going to be laying your tools down. My old man is notorious for doing that, throwing his damn tools everywhere. All right, so I'm going to just set the camera in there and hopefully it'll get a shot. I think I got this lined up okay. Sorry, I'm just gonna, my foam is blowing away, but that's all right. Okay, so I'm just gonna lay this. Whoa. Oh. Man, that almost fell in the oil. Sheesh. All right, so I don't know how great you can see there, but we'll just slip our pliers on here and give it a little crush and turn, and once you get it going, you can do the rest by hand. The other thing too, again, I'm treating this video like you've never changed oil before. The other thing you're going to want to look when you take the filter off, make sure the gasket is on the old filter. I remember I was changing this one crazy broad's oil in college, and I took the oil filter off and I didn't check, and the gasket stuck because the Jiffy Lube idiots didn't lube it up, and it stuck on the side of the motor. And I didn't think about it, spun a filter on, and the filter wasn't flat against the housing. Go to crank the car, and holy, was oil flying everywhere. So that wasn't a good time at all. So make sure that O-ring is not on the block. You're going to want to still see it in the old filter. The new ones today have like a thinner O-ring, and it's kind of like pressed in the housing of the filter, so it's harder to get off. But these flat ones, they sometimes can stick, especially if the dudes that did the oil change, forgot to lube this up with some oil. So let's go get our filter and slap that on. All right, here's our new oil filter. Take this junk off. And then I keep a little pump can with some oil in it. And then just set your filter down and pump a little oil on the top of the filter. And you can just use your finger and spread it on that O-ring. It's important that the O-ring gets a light coating of oil. Some guys take the drain oil, give it a dip, or they do, you know, they use their finger in the old drain oil. I figure we're putting fresh oil in. I'll just use fresh oil on the gasket. So, all right, so we got our new filter. You can clean off the surface if you want to. You just want to be careful you don't get any debris or anything on there. So just like with the drain plug, the filter you don't need to go gorilla style with. This is something that you get it snug by hand and then just crank on it again with your hand. The gasket is what does the sealing and what holds it on there. So I got this pretty tight with my hand, and I'll try to maybe go a little bit more just to make sure. And that's it. It's done. Another thing I want to mention is to make sure that you're disposing of your oil properly. I store all my oil in these 20-gallon jugs, and then I take it to my father that has a waste oil burner. You can also call almost any automotive place and they will take the oil, because they have special heaters in the wintertime that can atomize and burn this oil. So don't dump it down the drain, don't throw it out in the damn garbage. So if you're going to change your oil, you want to make sure that you have a place to put it. So I like to use this thing. It's got all the graduated amounts here, and I know that this 4-cylinder 22RE takes 4.5. So basically dump until we get to 4.5. We don't have to worry about, oh, did I put too much in? Oh, did I put too little in? And this thing is also real easy to pour from, so that's a nice bonus. Spout in here, and alright, then we toss our cap back on, snug that up, clean up our cool tools. You can let the oil sit in there for a couple minutes and then check it, but if you measured it correctly, you should be good. And that's it, man. That's oil change 101. Just want to make sure you got the tools ready, the right oil, and a way to dispose of the oil. And that's it. It's pretty easy. Took all of what, maybe 20 minutes, 30 minutes. And you save yourself money, and you know it's done right. Like, I know that no one put on that drain plug with a damn impact, that the right oil was used and not some junk stuff. So, yeah. I don't know how well, but I'm sweating. It's 90 degrees here in Ohio, so enjoy your summer. I appreciate all the subs. I think we're over 1,000 now, so that's great. And yeah, any questions or comments, just leave something below. Thanks again.